Hello, welcome to Skype call testing service. After the beep, please record a message. Afterwards, your message will be played back to you.
He's got the pen back.
Where's he working?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the E2G Sports Podcast, the Friday, December 13th, Friday the 13th edition, the year 2019. I am Johnny Ahern, Sunchips, you can call me. Buddy Andre to my right, Tyler O'Neill producing the show, kind of getting it done technically back there for you on this day. It is the NFL Week 15 edition. My, how time flies, doesn't it? So, live on Facebook.com. YouTube.com. We're going to talk some football today. And you know what? I was kind of driving in today, buddy, and saying, what the heck are we going to talk about? It's been such an uninteresting week here in this part of the country.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable.
What's going on?
Been nothing.
I got to be honest with you, and obviously tongue firmly implanted in cheek when I said that. We're going to talk about the Pats-Chiefs game last week, kind of recap stuff on that, but I have something to say to you about that. Because we talked about it a little bit after that before the all-holy you-know-what broke loose on Monday afternoon, and we'll get into that as well. But that's kind of taken everything by storm again, if you will. Yeah, these Tom Brady's last days in a Patriots uniform seems to be getting there with each and every week. Little bits and pieces seem to shake down and kind of make me realize, at least in my heart of hearts, that I think he's kind of donning the Patriots uniform.
One of the biggest things that happened this week was him leaving Best Buddies.
Absolutely. Yep.
That is a huge story.
It is huge. And you can do that. And, he's going to be an ambassador, apparently, which you can do from anywhere you want to in the country, in the world, wherever. So that's kind of something else that kind of paves the way. But we'll talk more about that. I want to get into the Pats-Bengals matchup as well. We'll talk about some of the key games around the NFL, playoff implications. Overall, not a great slate of games for you this week, but there are some marquee matchups. That being Houston and Tennessee, who are playing 2 out of the next 3 games.
Great job by the scheduling.
Right by default or whatever, but that was a good move. And those are the games to watch because they're both 8-5 and looking for division titles and playoff implications. So we'll get into that as well. We might even talk a little baseball because, if you know, here in New England with the Boston Red Sox, things are kind of different. David Price is on the trading block. Offered 5 teams are apparently interested. But we'll get into all that, talk a little baseball. But we are going to talk about, buddy, I want to talk about, we'll just recap the Pats-Chiefs game, okay, last week.
Yep.
And obviously, the final was 23-16.
Yep.
We know that. But we'll get into what the crux of the conversation. A lot of the Patriot fans think they got jobbed by the refs, okay? Here's what I'm going to point you out, because this guy right next to me, diehard Patriot fan, one of the biggest fans I know, but you are, in my opinion, the quote-unquote thinking Pats fan. You don't knee-jerk. When we talked about it after the game, while a lot of the fans on talk radio and friends that I know were talking about how the refs screwed the Patriots out of 14 points, this and that, whatnot, I called Buddy, and Buddy was like, one of the first things you said, and I'll let you pontificate.
Go ahead.
You don't really think the refs cost them the game per se, correct?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you want to pontificate in why you think that?
Yeah, I think you could have been a lot better in the first half with your play calling. I think the play calling has been terrible. I think they've been terrible with drive starters. They're putting themselves behind down and distance, and they don't really have the guys to go get a 3rd and 11.
Right.
Outside of Edelman.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to watch. When it's 3rd and 7, it's like warm up Jake Bailey.
Right.
It really is. And there's just no continuity between everybody, between the line, between the position players,
right,
the running backs. You're on your 3rd center. You don't know what's going on with Isaiah Wynn. Just listening to Greg Bedard's grade last week, he had like one of the worst games an offensive lineman's ever had.
Who, Isaiah Wynn? Who was supposed to be
the savior.
The savior, for lack of a better term.
His run blocking is great. His pass blocking needs to improve. His kick step out is a little slow, and we saw that last week.
And we were looking at the savior coming into that game, or coming into this year, albeit off the injured list, as playing maybe a game and a half total?
Yeah, no, he had played something like 72 snaps.
Right. And
total between the Miami
and this guy was the savior. So
yeah, I mean, really reaching, but when you have Marshall Newhouse, like, they really screwed the pooch, those 2 trades, Cunningham and Illuminor.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have not produced anything.
No.
Like, for them not to be able to even find a role at all along the offensive line is really bad.
Right.
Like, those 2, they threw away 3 draft picks with those 2 trades, and the center, Bodine, they traded a 6th rounder to the Bills with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dante Scarnecchia is one of the best coaches I've ever seen.
It's
and for him to not be able to do anything, and he's as frustrated as
no
he
question.
is.
Right. He didn't just lose. So he didn't just forget how to coach offensive linemen overnight.
No.
It's personnel. It's personnel with this team.
Yeah, and those trades did not work out. Michelle's not running hard. He misses Devlin. You don't realize how important Devlin is. Another guy who's kind of missed, other than Gronk, guy who had a really good postseason for us last year, Dwayne Allen.
Good, real good blocking.
His blocking, they ran out of that, 22 personnel and pounded the football.
Yep.
And that's not something that they're doing right now.
David Andrews, huge loss.
Yeah.
Huge loss.
People don't realize he got to the 2nd level. He just, think of a guy who was undrafted, came in here, he beat out the kid from Florida State who had all the concussions. Why I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But he comes in, he takes over the job as an undrafted free agent. And he's just so solid.
Right.
You don't realize how solid of a player is. Boy, we realize what he's going to be worth. And Tooney's been the best lineman this year. Shaq Mason just has not been himself.
No, they haven't been. He's definitely taken a step back from what was really a real good season he had last year.
From what I heard, Edelman is playing with a separated shoulder.
Right. He's dinged up. Brady with the elbow. I mean, that's
a separated shoulder.
No,
is what I was
is
told.
that really? He's playing with a separated shoulder. That is not good, because that ain't going away soon.
And Mohamed Sanu he had that game against Baltimore, but if you look, I believe it was like 10 for 61.
Yeah, it wasn't. It
wasn't
quantity as opposed to quality.
Oh, it was a lot of 4-yard passes.
Agree.
Even in that Houston game, not running to the sticks. He put them in 2 different 4th and 1 situations, not running to the sticks. Just He's not picking it up quickly. Granted, it's a tough offense to pick up mid-season. There's a lot of elements that aren't good.
His team, yeah. And James Devlin is a huge loss. So we're looking at the offensive personnel where they might. I mean, you can say, and a lot of people say, and I'm one of the people. I was watching that Chiefs game. You know, I'm a diehard fan. You never give up on this team. They seem to have fight. They seem to be able to flip the switch.
That's one thing, though.
Right, I agree with you.
Boy, do they battle.
They
battle.
No question about it. This team, the pedigree is second to none. This team will keep you in a game, and they'll battle you. They'll play for 60 minutes. I'll give you that. There may be spots where they kind of look like they're not playing for 60 minutes, but this team's got character. They have balls, grit, heart, whatever you want to word, cliche, phrase, you throw it in there. This team embodies all of that. Now, having said that, they did the same thing last year. They lost 2 in December. They were able to rebound, get better.
Yep, and that was running the football.
Right.
They emphasized that, those last 2 games.
Which is where we bring it to this game here.
Now,
this is a get-better game against Cincinnati.
This is a get-well. This is...
Right. But,
yeah.
Right. No, but here's the one caveat I throw into that. It's a get-well game, but they could get well against the 1-12 Cincinnati team. But does it manifest and does it transfer over to the rest of the season and beyond? Because if you're looking at a personnel issue, buddy, that you can't fix that overnight. I mean, granted they can flip the switch, but they don't have the right pieces there. Maybe not even pieces that they can place here and there, but it doesn't seem like they have the right personnel offensively to get it done. Are they able to flip that switch, get well against a Cincinnati team, and kind of ride the wave? That's interesting.
This week has to,
I'm not saying they don't have to. They don't have to go out and win 50-3 this week. Consistently show some offensive character, score points, show some rhythm and identity. Because we don't know what this team's identity is offensively yet. It's certainly not running the ball.
I truly believe in just something that was said yesterday, and I kind of, I didn't have the airwaves before then, so it sounds copycat, but I'd sit both Edelman and Sanu this week.
I would too.
And just run with the rest of the crew.
You gain nothing. You get a tough
get
Buffalo.
These guys healthy. You got a short week.
Yep.
Don't forget, this is a short week.
Saturday afternoon.
Granted, you're at home, but it's a Saturday afternoon game. It's a quick turnaround.
Right.
Against a physical, tough playoff team.
No question. A team that
you
feels...
You got to go out of your way to put this game away early.
I agree with you. Agree. Stomp on them, get it done in the first half. I agree. Edelman shouldn't play. Sanu shouldn't play. But they still should be able to get it done. Yeah. Now, let me harken back to something with the Chiefs. I know we talked about the refs jobbing them. First of all, I'm going to say this. The refs took away what was an opportunity, arguably, for them to maybe tie the game and win it in overtime. But, and you brought this up. Now you know how the Detroit Lions feel.
Oh, nobody got screwed worse than the Detroit Lions this year.
What's it? Was Miles Jack in the championship game a couple years ago?
With the inadvertent whistle.
Thank you very much. So now what happens is, Patriot fans, when it happens in your own backyard, you feel a lot what other teams are feeling.
But every team experiences it.
Every team does, right. That's part of the game.
I'm going to say every team experiences it in some form over the course of a season.
Right. Coming full circle. If they had gotten things done in the first half where they could have done it and played a little better, it may not have come down to that situation, number one.
You're in this game. You're up 7-0 with the football inside the 50 after a pick on the third play.
Mm-hmm.
You get a field goal blocked. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw a Patriots field goal blocked that bad.
Marshall Newhouse is on the...
I'm not talking like it got tipped.
Oh, he was in his face.
He might as well have shook his hand.
Right.
That was... You don't see that with the Patriots special teams.
That was a jailbreak.
That was unreal. That was unnerving.
Right.
And the way the special teams has been unbelievable
That's
this
been
year.
one of their assets. That's one of their biggest assets this year.
When they've needed moments, the special teams has come up.
Sure.
They won them the Buffalo game.
Absolutely.
They had a block in the Giants game. Mm-hmm. They had the block in the Dallas game that led to the touchdown. There's a lot of good special teamers on this team.
It's no joke.
They got to go back to that. It's almost like a 2001 formula where you had all those guys on special teams who were really good in defense.
Yeah.
And find a way to piece it together offensively.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Is how you got to do this.
Right. I agree.
That's got to be the elixir. You got to go back to 2001. I'm sorry.
I agree. Give me your opinion on Sony Michel.
I don't think he runs hard at times.
If he's,
I think they've neutered him though. What their style is, get the yards that are in front of you, where he was more of a dynamic back at Georgia. I don't think they throw it enough to him.
Now, go ahead, finish what you.
The comfort level between him and Brady in the pass game is terrible.
If you hit him, he's going down.
There's not a lot of breaking tackles.
No, and that's whether he's pass catching or whether he's running. I don't care who he's behind. You get a body on this guy, chances are he's going down. So if you're a defense, you just get to him.
Yeah, the yards after contact are not there.
He doesn't have it. And you need
not
that.
Where they were.
No, not even close to where they were.
This is why you throw a guy like Burkhead in when you do, because he's kind of, I'm not going to say the same guy, but he can do the same things, except you add the screen game. And don't forget Burkhead in 2015 in the playoffs. There was a lot of injuries for the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
At wide receiver, he played slot receiver.
Right.
He was really good as a slot receiver.
Speaking of injuries, he's had his share of injuries.
He's had his share of injuries, but he's a very valuable player to have on your roster.
I'd have Brandon Bolden in there. I like he's running with some toughness. I know it's a jet sweep last week. I know, but he's when he's in there, he gives a little. To me, he shows a little bit more fierceness, a little bit more aggression, and a little bit more just kind of, up the gut bang. I'd like to see a little more Brandon Bolden in there, just for the toughness aspect.
Let's see this week. Let's see if Harris can actually get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically been redshirted. I'm not looking at him to produce a lot, but if there is a week where we may see him, this may be it.
I agree.
But he's another guy who they got to get a lot of that movement thing. Like in the preseason against Tennessee, he had that jump outside and extended for the goal line. They hate when backs extend for the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
So already he's doing great things, but it's not what they want them to do.
Right.
That's the problem. So the perfect running back for the Patriots is sitting at BC, a guy who just gets the yards.
Oh, I forget his name, but he's
A.J.
Dillon.
Yeah. Doesn't catch out of the backfield, but you got James White to do that. You got Burkhead to do that.
Agree.
But
we'll see if they can get it right. But these next couple of weeks with this team are pretty interesting. To me, as each week passes, it seems more and more this team's destiny is going to rely not solely, but 75% on how their defense plays.
Yeah.
There's no question about that now. This team is led by their defense.
Yeah. And special teams.
Right. Special teams, I agree. Right. Kind of like a byproduct of the defense. But hey, this team gets to the postseason, anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's all that matters.
It's a matter of getting that 2 seed now.
Yep.
Fighting for the division and the 2 seed. If you can get that 2 seed, I don't know anybody who's going to knock off Baltimore first round, because if it's the Chiefs-Patriots, that's going to be a great battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Chiefs are the team that can play high score with Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Be a shootout.
And they've kind of got a good pedigree. They've beaten them 2 years in a row. They're one of the defeats on the schedule this year for Baltimore is the Chiefs.
That's right.
And last year, too.
Yeah.
So they've kind of have their number.
Right. They kind of. And the Chiefs' defense is with Chris Jones back there, Eric Fisher's back at tackle on the offensive side. You never know. And that's a team that if they still Kansas City's a team no one wants to play in the playoffs either with a healthy Mahomes and with the weapons they have.
Not at all.
No.
But I'm looking. What do you think of this Houston-Tennessee back-to-back thing going on?
The 2 out of 3.
Who do you think is the better team there?
Who do I think is the better team? Wow. Right now?
Yep.
Tennessee.
Yeah. You want to know a big element to the Tennessee team? A few weeks ago, we saw it. Blocked, kick, return for a touchdown to win the game.
Opportunistic.
They did it against the Chiefs. Blocked a kick.
That was it. Yeah, I saw that game.
They make plays on defense and special teams, and they're saddling up a Derrick Henry.
Oh, he's just. But when he gets moving, dude. When he gets his shoulders squared, you can't stop that dude.
No, that's a team you don't want to see in a one-game playoff.
No, and now
because if they get the ball rolling downhill with that big back, it can wear you out.
And you have a quarterback with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove, and he's doing it right now in Ryan Tannehill.
And they're spreading the ball around a lot. Yeah,
right.
I think they're the best team in that division.
That's a scary team. I agree.
I think they win that division.
I do too.
And get the 4 seed. And don't forget that they both those teams have the tiebreaker with the Chiefs because they've both beaten them both.
Yep.
So, and the Chiefs have the tiebreaker with the Patriots, and Baltimore has it with the Patriots.
Right.
So very interesting end of the season
Yeah.
in the AFC.
Agreed. And I love it. There are some playoff games right now. I'm looking over at the producer. Yeah, we're going to break. We will get into the other stuff. And we'll get into how, we know that Lamar Jackson, it is over. The MVP race is over. He's officially, well, not officially, but the MVP in waiting of the National Football League with another crazy game last night by Lamar Jackson. But we'll be back on the other side. I want to talk a little bit about what this whole Cincinnati thing was with the Spygate 2.0, so to speak. And I'm going to tell you why, Patriot fans, after we talk about all the Spygate, how that may be beneficial to you as a fan as far as the Patriots. I'll let you know on the other side. We'll be back with more E2G Sports Podcast just after this.
Another summer has passed, and once again, your dream of having a pool in your backyard has come and gone. Right now is the time to make sure it doesn't happen again. Call Apollo Pools and Spas now and lock your date in for the pool you have always wanted, for you, your family, and friends to enjoy. Don't wait another minute. Call Matt Collins at Apollo Pools and Spas at 508-923-7381. 508-923-7381. Apollo Pools and Spas is located on Route 44, Lakeville, Mass. In today's day and age, security isn't a luxury, it's a must. That's why it's time you call Total Security Technology. Whether you're protecting your house from a break-in or package poachers, or protecting your business from vandals or thieves, Total Security Technology will help prevent the crime from happening or catch the criminal in the act with their state-of-the-art security system. Call the area's foremost security expert, Scott Bazinet, at Total Security Technology for a consult. Call Scott at 401-297-7982. That's 401-297-7982. Quality counts at Highland Fence. Highland Fence has been keeping neighbors friendly and protecting your businesses for 31 years. That's 31 years of serving Southeastern Mass and Rhode Island. Whether it's residential or commercial, Highland Fence's reputation is second to none. Remember, quality counts at Highland Fence. Call Highland Fence at 508-678-4650. 508-678-4650.
And welcome back to this Friday, December 13th, Friday the 13th edition of the E2G Sports Podcast. Johnny Sunchips, Buddy Andrade, Tyler O'Neill producing this extravaganza, if you will. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Lamar Jackson before the break, how he, it's amazing. He is on one of those runs where it's just one guy can be such a game changer and open up everything a team has to offer, and a team that's pretty darn good.
And there's a lot of young pieces there. I was talking about this morning in Denver. They've got something good built there offensively.
No
and what
quite.
they were able to do defensively since that Browns game,
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah,
they gave up a lot of points there, and they found guys
early
off
on in the year
street who fit the scheme.
Yep.
Very well, and they're kind of rolling.
They are rolling. The defense is a lot better. You're right. That's a team, man. But if you're a Baltimore fan, are you kind of worried about? Well, they've won 10 in a row. They're gonna,
Do we need to lose?
Do we need to lose one? No, not necessarily. And you don't want to. You want to keep this team on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? And I won't get into. We'll get into that. I think I'm trying to look right here. Who does Baltimore have left? I have it right here. They're at Cleveland and versus the Steelers. The last two.
And they're gonna sit Lamar week 17 if they've got the 1 seed clinched.
Right,
They've
right.
already announced that.
Yeah, I don't.
That thigh injury is a little bit more than just than nothing. Let's just say.
Yeah, that kid can. Man, he can throw the ball, and he gets hurt in the pocket. How crazy is that? So anyway, they beat the Jets 42-21 last night. And like I said, 10 consecutive wins. Lamar Jackson, 15, 23, 212 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air. Oh, by the way, he eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark on the ground. 8 carries, 86 yards, a paltry 10.8 average. You can say what you want. That is a quarterback, and maybe they're not prepared to run. But when you're a defense and you got to prepare for both for this guy, I mean, at what point do you say, wow, he's a quarterback. Maybe we should think of stopping the run and letting him pass as a quarterback. But that's a tough one. And Greg Roman's done some good things here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Yeah.
They got to make him the highest paid coordinator.
No question.
In the league. They got to keep him around and not let him get away because he did it with Kaepernick, and now he's doing it with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no question. So anyway, we're not going to talk about it a lot, but I wanted to say that this whole Spygate thing, what's happened with the Kraft, what is it, the Kraft Sports Group taping practices. If you're listening to the show or listening to us now or watching us now, you know what's going on with this. I just want to say one thing. First of all, when it came out, it was like Back to the Future time because that seemed to be their focus. It was a controversial taping of games and so forth and so on. And granted, they broke a rule, and obviously you can talk about Belichick. Did they do it purposely? Whatever you want to. Like I said, you've heard everything you've needed to hear.
Yeah, we're not going to add.
I just want to say one thing: that if you're the Patriots and your organization, I think you want to stay as far away from a situation like that as possible. That's where I have a problem with it. I want to get your thoughts on that. And here's the people were beating on Belichick for this reason and this reason only. He came out Monday afternoon and said he had just heard about it, which is a total load of crap if you're the head coach of the Patriots. Monday afternoon, he came out and said that he had just found out about it that day. Not the case. Sorry. But that's why a lot of people are banging on Belichick. And if you're a Pats fan, your reputation precedes you as an organization. So you really can't fault people, talking heads. I'm thinking of the guy from Fox News. I can't remember. Max Kellerman's, whatever, from ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to beat on you a little bit for this. And you know what? Because it's what they have to do and what you've kind of earned as a reputation as an organization.
Yep.
I'll be it at that. I mean, I don't really care about what happens because it's what's on the field, and I don't know how you feel as a.
I don't think it's going to be dealt with before the end of the season.
Are you surprised at that?
Yeah.
Because apparently.
Yeah, because.
So what do they do?
The more they do on it, the more I'm curious what's going on.
Here's my
thought. The
thought.
longer this runs, because do you remember we were covering Spygate? We were there.
Right.
You heard about it Monday afternoon. The penalty was out by like Tuesday when we went into that Wednesday press conference. Remember how many people were there?
Yeah.
It was San Diego week. Big revenge battle against San Diego.
Yep.
Do you remember what that media room was like that day?
That was insane.
Absolutely insane.
It wasn't. You're right. It was right. It was insane.
It was everybody who was. It was Kenny Mayne. It was everybody who's everybody was there that week. They went out and waxed San Diego. And just waxed pretty much everybody the rest of the season until the Super Bowl.
Good. You just gave me a nice segue because I said before the break that if you're a Pats fan and you see all this and you wonder maybe it's not good for the organization, here's why it is good. Because we know this team can carry it's us against the world mentality.
Yeah.
As a team, as an organization. This is another reason you have a 10-3 team in the Patriots who are struggling offensively, who can look at this and galvanize, and another us against the world mentality. So if you're a Patriot fan, this may be something positive coming out of a potential negative situation as an organization.
Yeah, because if you remember,
they've done it consistently.
And
Rodney Harrison, remember, was pioneer of that.
Oh yeah.
Nobody thought we could do it. People bought into it. The team believed it. And again, it's part and parcel of what this team represents: the heart, the integrity, the persistence, the professionalism, the Patriot way, if you will, which we can agree or disagree with, is still there. But they can carry this and roll with this as a us against the world mentality, and that could be interesting. What was that?
I'm just seeing if I can hit the camera.
Well, I was wondering.
I'll always be a kid, man. I turned 44 this week. I will.
That's
always
right.
Be
Double
a kid.
fours, huh? Double fours.
Double four is my favorite number. So.
Is it really?
Yeah, 4 is my favorite number.
When you played sports, did you?
If Chris Pereira is listening, he's busted my child. Who for Dak Prescott? Who for? Yeah, it's been my favorite number for like 35, 38 years. Yeah, for Dak Prescott. I knew eventually he'd be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. We're number 4.
That's funny. My favorite number was 10 because I'm young. I'm old enough to remember, and believe me, when the Patriots weren't popular on here, my brother was a big Giants fan, and Brad Van Pelt was a linebacker.
Okay.
Number 10 as a linebacker.
Was he Van Pelt's dad? Alex Van
I
Pelt's
think,
dad?
yeah.
Is that his dad?
I believe so, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't quote me on it, but it was. But he was one of the guys I first kind of recognized on TV. I later became a Chief fan, but I always said, man, I kind of like that number 10 in a linebacker, and that was it. So
you can't do that anymore except in college.
Unfortunately.
Brian Bosworth would be happy now because he'd be able to wear 44. That was a big deal.
That's true.
One of the greatest minds of all time right there.
Brian Bosworth?
Yeah. You know what he did, right?
Have
you read his book?
I have not read the book, but I detect a little sarcasm here.
No, this is friggin' genius. He talked complete smack about John Elway from the time he was drafted till they played him week 1. So he put his number, like with the line through it, like his number. I don't remember if it was 44 because he was trying to get 44 or 55 at the time.
Right.
He sold merchandise outside of Mile High Stadium, and all these Broncos fans bought it.
Did he really?
So he made money off these towels that he sold to all the Broncos fans who thought they were being anti-him when they were really putting money in his pocket.
That's pretty cool.
That is genius.
That is genius.
And,
And I thought you were being sarcastic when you said that.
No. And now he's in those Fansville commercials. He's the cop in the Fansville commercials.
That's right.
Tastes the same to me.
I forgot about that. Tastes the same to me. I remember that. Wow, how about that? Little Brian Bosworth reference.
Yeah, that's a good book. You ever want to read a book and go back in time? Him and Barry, the stories he tells about Barry Switzer. Like, what an idiot Barry Switzer was. My God.
What a crazy time that was, huh? With him in Oklahoma?
The King and I, he used to call it.
Right.
The King and I, because they fought for Norman, Oklahoma.
Right.
Is the big face on campus. Really, really good read.
The BFAC on campus.
Yep.
But anyway, let's move on. But anyway, I want to get that out about the Patriots too, because I meant to say that. So I'm glad I was able to get that out of my system. Shall we go through some of the key matchups, if you will?
Sure, let's go.
All right. My first key matchup on the slate. Well, Seattle's a playoff team. They play Carolina. Chicago and Green Bay, playoff implications there. Bears are playing a lot better. Green Bay, again, is one of those 10-3 teams.
That's not that good.
Again, but but are they or aren't they?
I don't think
they're 10-3 though.
Yeah, they're 10.
See, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just trying to say, how are they not that good if they're 10-3? So if they're, what are they? Should they be like an 8-5 team, a 7-6 team?
They're an 8-5 team.
They
should have lost that Detroit game. They could have lost to Washington.
Well, you could say that's about a lot.
Yeah,
of
you
teams,
can say
right?
that. But I don't know. They just don't pass the eye test.
That's what it is.
They went and got smacked by San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
All the good teams have played each other in the NFC. They've all been good games, except when it's included Green Bay. It hasn't been a good game. I don't think they're winning the division. How's that for you?
Really?
I think Minnesota's going to beat them in Minnesota next week and win the division.
Could be.
I think they're going to be a wild card road team.
Which is just a testament to how deep the NFC is.
Yeah.
Really.
Even the Rams are fighting and the Bears are kind of fighting.
Right.
It really doesn't look like either one's going to.
I know the Rams may fall up a little bit short, although I seem to think they're turning around. I would like to see the Rams get in there because I always like to see how that Super Bowl loser does the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And they have they play Dallas this week, right? They're gonna lay the wood to Dallas in Dallas. They're gonna lay the wood to them. So
how about this? I think Philly's gonna clinch that division week 16.
I think
Dallas is gonna lose the next two, and Philly's gonna win the next two, and they're gonna have that division clinched after they beat them in Philadelphia.
Jesus,
and you may see. How about this? When that happens, Garrett gets fired for week 17. That's my prediction. He is not coaching week 17 if they lose the next two games.
He should be fired already. Don't you
He
agree?
should have been fired already.
Right, which is just crazy. The Cowboys. Cheek is crowing. There were rumors that Tom Brady's going to go.
That'll be the way Jerry will try to make it look good. Well, I fired him before the season was over.
Of course, it's all about him.
While we were in contention.
It's all about him.
He was still here.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. His key words a couple of weeks ago were, I can't make a change while we're in a playoff race. If they're not in a playoff race, there's an interim head coach week 17. Mark my words on that.
Well, if he's a man of his word, then he'll do it that way, right?
Yeah, and it'll make him look like the hero and get him more media.
Yep, and welcome to Jerry Jones' world, because that's what it's all about, my friend. how it looks. And that's the reason why he came out after the Patriot game, which is the biggest rated game in the NFL. He knew that. Two teams who are polarizing, two teams who are America's team, so to speak. That's when he had to come out after, because it was all about him. Now I have to say something about my coaches after that game, because he needs to take center stage.
Yep.
He needs to upstage the game himself by putting him on the forefront. That's all you need to know about
There's
Jerry
123 professional sports teams. Which of the other 122 does the owner do a press conference after the game?
Right. We talked about, that's it.
None.
Right.
I don't know if the Vancouver Canucks do it, but I don't think so.
Right. Which is why you'll see
Another puppet.
No, exactly. Right. A Pinocchio to Geppetto, basically. That's what it is. And it will always be that way. It will always be that way until he's there, unless he has some sort of, I don't know, some
epiphany.
Yeah,
it's got to step up.
It has
He's got
to
to get smacked in the face.
Has to.
In his interview last week when we left here, I heard that was disrespectful as could be, where he's talking down. Would have hung up on him too.
Oh, that interview, the crazy
See
thing.
you later, dude.
What are they going to ask you?
Set.
Are you kidding me?
Don't come back. We don't need you.
Exactly.
We'll talk to somebody who actually knows what's going on.
Right.
Clown.
Right. A total clown. Again, if you're going to put yourself, if not a lot of owners, if you're going to do a radio interview like that, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's like the only other owners, really, it's rarely you ever hear from them.
Right.
You'll see that maybe on TV a shot, especially NFL owners. I think once a game they have to go to the owners. They show the owner box, both owners' boxes. But you don't see the Jacobs family. They're not filming them at the thing. But you'll see Grossbeck because he's right by the court.
Right.
And he's like my favorite owner in this town.
I like him too. He's
I
pretty cool guy. But you won't see them doing radio interviews on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Grossbeck is every now and then. He'll come on. He'll talk about it.
Of course.
He's enlightening. He'll challenge if he thinks something wrong was said.
Mm-hmm.
He's the right kind of owner. Be more like Wick Grossbeck. Every owner should be like that dude.
That's a good point. Good point. And they're down on the radar here because they're the Celtics and they're not the Patriots and the Red Sox and so forth and so on. But I can't say down on the radar, but a little lower as far as owners in the forefront of the sports picture in this city. So I don't know, who do you like in that game? In Chicago, Green Bay? That's interesting.
I'm taking Chicago.
Yeah, he's 66.5 completion percentage in his last 5 games. So he's sort of become the Mitchell Trubisky that people thought he would be. Maybe enough. The defense, good enough to get him there. But they're gonna. I think they're still gonna fall a little bit short. I like the Packers.
I do. I don't.
I know you don't. You like the Bears.
I think Vikings are winning that.
Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with her. She's not even listening right now.
How dare she?
Well, she might be.
Hope
she's not on Messenger.
She better have something better to do. Only kidding.
Like work.
That's a lot better. Denver at Kansas City. What the heck happened with Denver? And you called it, by the way.
Chop game.
Huge chop game.
That was a huge.
That was over at the coin flip, for God's sakes.
31-3, and I'm like,
are you kidding me?
What just happened?
That's why when you asked me Tennessee, if it was Tennessee or Houston, I thought was a better team. I immediately thought of that game. That would not happen to Tennessee right now.
Vrabel would never let that happen to his team. They're
never.
up for games.
Bingo.
They're up for games. They're ready to play every week.
Yep.
Win or lose. Yeah. No, that would never have happened in a million years.
Anyway, I got to talk to him. Kansas City's in the playoffs. My boy Mahomes, 10-1 career record versus the AFC West teams. But the Chiefs this year are 6-1 on the road, only 3-3 at home, and they played 2 out of their last 3 at Arrowhead. Kansas City this week. They go to Chicago the following week, and they finish with the Chargers. So they need to win still.
Yeah, they have to win out.
Right.
And hope the Patriots slip up 1 to get the 2 seed.
Right.
This is going to be important where that game is played divisional round.
No question about
it. It's probably going to be the Saturday night game, no matter which one it is.
And I work Saturday nights, but I will not be working that night, I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
We'll call you out sick.
Absolutely.
I'll kidnap you. Remember that?
Fine with me.
I'll hold you hostage.
Voluntarily.
This guy's going with me to watch football.
We're going to skip the flex Sunday night game with Buffalo and Pittsburgh, which is arguably one of the
I can't wait to watch
that's
that
phenomenal.
game.
I can't meet that's I'm going to see it too, but we're going to move on to the Houston Tennessee game. So obviously these teams play 2 out of the next 3 against each other this week in Tennessee, 2 weeks from now in Houston. They're sandwiched between games. Houston has Tampa at Tampa in between,
which is tough.
No, at Tampa, sure. Yep, with a team that is playing some decent ball.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee has New Orleans.
That's tough. At home,
At
too.
home.
So they got him on the grass at least.
Right. So
on that terrible turf.
Right. So it's playoff games for these two teams for the next 3 weeks.
The playoffs start this week for those two.
No question about it. No question about it. At Tennessee's rolling. I'm really impressed with Tannehill, and we talked about what they're doing defensively.
He's integrating more guys.
Right.
In the passing game.
It's a well-coached team. Vrabel's doing a nice job.
Guy to watch after this season, being on the move, who has a lot of talent, just isn't in the right spot. 5th overall pick, Corey Davis, from a couple of years ago, wide receiver. He ate Stephon Gilmore's lunch last year in that game in Tennessee.
He played well.
Talented player. He plays
towards the end of
against
last
New
year.
England.
I agree. He came towards the end of last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kind of come on.
And he's kind of really in the doghouse. It's A.J. Brown. It's Adam Humphries. It's Jonnu Smith. It's Derrick Henry, who are the guys carrying the load right now. So we'll
when Henry gets going, man, he's like it's all downhill with that dude.
Yeah.
It is all downhill. I like Tennessee in this game at home.
Taking Tennessee at home too.
I just
hoping to get to watch some of it.
That would be good. John and Buddy, Tennessee. We're going to skip that one. Let's go. Well, Philadelphia we can talk about. They're going to beat Washington.
Yep.
They're going to be 7-7, and I don't see the Dallas Cowboys showing any sort of life at this point. What are they going to play for? They haven't the past few weeks. What's going to make a team like that? They're going to go out there and just go through the motions, and I see the Rams really kind of I see the Rams winning this week big against Dallas and Philadelphia.
Yeah, I do too.
We're all but certainly locking up the division.
By week 16.
Yeah.
And then Jason Garrett is fired for the last week just so Jerry Jones makes it look like he's a tough guy.
Yep, exactly. But that's another point. I mean, that's a good thing. I think that Garrett's out of there, and it's no disrespect to him. He's not a head coach. He's been in there for a while. Went over his record last week. Talked about some things. I was going to get information on him this week. I didn't because of all the other scuttlebutt that went on in the NFL.
And Salem catchers.
Yeah, plus I'm getting the Greenville stuff. They don't have the updated rosters yet.
Unbelievable.
I know it's unreal. I will, but you know what?
I don't care about Greenville. I've never.
I'll get. You know what? I'm going to go to every Red Sox affiliate, every minor league affiliate they have, all the way down.
Was it Dan Butler a catcher?
Dan Butler. You know who he's now with? He's now with the bullpen catcher out in Arizona.
He's the bullpen catcher?
Yeah, he retired.
So he made the majors.
He retired. Yeah, and he has a World Series ring because he came up when the.
Yeah.
So he got the World Series ring.
So he's got the Abe Alvarez
yeah,
World Series
and he
ring.
retired. And but nonetheless, he retired. Now he's the bullpen catcher, and he's from Arizona. He was great, man.
You remember Abe Alvarez?
Yeah.
He came up for one game in 2004 and got a ring.
Bingo. And he had the hat tip because he has a bad eye.
Yeah, he's
Remember?
blind in one eye.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so he used to tip the hat, so everybody in the dugout was doing that while he's giving up 7 runs in the first inning. They're all there with their hat like that. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to get the Abe Alvarez ring. That's what I call it.
My son and I were getting autographs one time, mostly my son outside of McCoy Stadium last year, and Butler comes up, who's really gracious, to come out and sign. And he goes, I said, hey, Dan, somebody said, hey, Dan, you working today? We got to take a break. My Dan Butler story.
On the other side.
Yeah, we'll get
Dan
on the other
Butler
side. It's not a great story, but it's kind of cute.
I'm excited.
Don't be excited. I made us the border. Anyway, we're going to finish up the NFL slate. We'll talk a little bit about the MLB, what's going on with the winter meetings, and some crazy signings that have been going on Major League Baseball. On the other side, we're at Buddy Andre, Johnny Sunchips, Tyler O'Neill. We'll continue more with the E2G Sports podcast on the other side after this.
Here can be hard. Money's unemployment's high. Opportunities seem too far away. Work hard and often. At times, you might not have the time or the energy to fight. The insurance companies in corporate America have endless resources. The pockets are full, and they don't fight fair. That's why when it comes to your legal matters, you need someone who's them one over and over again. Who's going to take testimony, not get intimidated, not get bullied or pushed around for an early or unjust settlement. It is proven, the results are clear. let me and my firm fight for you when you need it most.
So recycling, we want to turn your trash into cash. That's cash money immediately for your old appliances, automobiles, metal wire and shut salvage. Excel has 3 locations in the South Coast. 17 Road in New Bedford, 30 Charlotte White Road in Westport, and 15 Ridge Hill Road in Asona. No more than Excel. At Excel Recycling, trash and cash. See us again at 15 Hill Road in New Bedford, 30 Charlotte White Road in Westport, and 15 Ridge Hill Road. So
Company can cover needs. Commercial, residential, stores, glass placements, custom showers, and mirrors. Whether your business or home, KB Glass is your shop for all your glass needs. Call KB Glass 508-617-779 or 401-629-2796.
And we're back, and what's on the cutting room floor verbally? It's some good stuff here. But for a third and final segment here on the E2G Sports Podcast, Friday the 13th of December.
Why'd you even say that? I totally did not know that.
It doesn't have that haunting or ghoulish feel like it would be if it was in October. It's just
the lights are above me, a-hole.
Don't walk under any ladder. No black cats.
Just what I need is more bad luck.
Just stay inside, everybody. Don't go outside. Here's my theory on these things. If you're superstitious, then you're kind of self-fulfilling your prophecy, if you will. Just my opinion. I don't believe in Friday the 13th. I'll go under a ladder.
Okay, Shawn Michaels. Yep.
I'll go under a ladder. I'll drive with if a black cat. I don't believe in it, so therefore I don't think it's going to affect me as much. Because I think once you believe in it, you're like, okay, that black cat just crossed my car. Now I have to go inside. I can't plastic utensils. Don't drive. Don't flush the toilet. It might just you start.
Who knows what's going to come out?
Right. It's like reading your horoscope at the beginning of a day and gearing your whole day towards it. Mind over matter. It's another topic for a whole another situation.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's break down this Buffalo.
Yeah, let's do that
game because I'm really excited.
Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Okay. Defense ranked third. Buffalo's defense ranked third. Pittsburgh's defense is ranked fifth. Pittsburgh has allowed less than 20 points in 3 straight games, and you can argue Mike Tomlin could be the coach of the year.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'll crap on the Steelers any chance I get, and no, he deserves.
He deserves it.
Yeah, what he's done.
And this guy, you could argue, came into the season. Not going to say his job was in jeopardy because of the tenure at Pittsburgh.
It was.
Right. Deep embedded in the organization, if they had gotten off to something worse than what they're doing, maybe a losing season, that he was going to be ousted. So what he's done, not only for the team, for his career as a head coach of the Steelers, is warranted and worthy of head coach coach of the year consideration. So this is Buffalo's first appearance on Sunday Night Football since 2007. Good for the Bills.
56-10.
I know.
That night. That was a game Moss had 4 touchdowns in the first half. I was taking pictures. We were sitting in the fourth.
They were the sacrificial lamb, the Buffalo Bills, that night.
Yeah, and I went in scared. I remember calling you and saying, oh, well, I don't think that Marshawn Lynch kid is playing this week, so I feel so much better about it. Yeah, Moss had 4 touchdowns in the first half. I still got a picture somewhere here on Facebook. I took a picture. I was like 4 rows from the top of the traffic at halftime.
I believe it.
Leaving.
Yep. That's a real good game. Good for Buffalo.
Yep.
And a great. We talked about the fan base. It's good.
That's a rivalry, too.
It's a real good rivalry.
Because they're close to each other.
Right.
A lot of people live in counties.
Right.
There's a lot of people. Your neighbor's a Bills fan. You're a Steelers fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting, smaller rivalry a lot of people don't know about.
I agree with you. And I think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. I really do. My heart wants the Bills, but actually, I'm going to pick the Bills, actually.
I'm picking the Bills,
because of my head and my
I
heart.
think they're wicking.
But it would not shock me.
Wicking, yeah.
They're wicking. but it would not shock me if the Steelers win. This may be the game where an overachieving Steelers team who have done all kinds of good things to keep themselves in the playoff hunt may fall a little bit short. I can see that happening in this game as well.
Duck Hodges. What's your thoughts on Duck Hodges?
Gotta love the name. Again,
I am going to tell you right now, that dude came on the field, and you know how I study this game and all that I do.
Tell me.
I had no idea who that guy was.
Seriously.
I had never heard of him. I couldn't have told you what school he went to. Never read anything up on him. Nothing. Like, there's a diamond in the rough right there.
Yeah.
They brought him in. He was like the 5th quarterback at camp.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, he was at like rookie tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought him back.
Yep.
And now he's starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers in basically playoff preview type game.
And you got to wonder, it's a Steelers team that doesn't have a lot of pressure on them. Duck Hodges. Maybe just go out there and sling it. Have fun. Let the chips fall where they may.
How's that Minka Fitzpatrick trade look now? Now that Miami's drafted in the 20s with it. It's like a good trade.
Looks like a real good trade.
Because at the time, when it first happened, I laughed.
Because it was
this
like
is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Right. Why are they doing that?
And then I thought about it, and if Ben Roethlisberger doesn't come back next year, his cap hit is like 50-something million. And to have all these guys on rookie contracts, this is why they haven't extended other guys like Juju Smith-Schuster and along the lines. They can't extend them because they're going to have to take on a big hit if he can't play anymore.
Right.
It's $55 million.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money on the cap.
So when you bring in a guy who's on a rookie deal like this, it's a slotted pay.
Right.
So these are the type of guys you want to go out and trade. So trading a first-round pick is well worth it because you're saving money because you don't have to pay the bonuses. You're only paying the salary, if that makes sense to anybody. So that was a good move by the Steelers.
Speaking of Fitzpatrick, he joined Pittsburgh before Week 3. They've allowed 16.5 points per game since then. Less than 190 yards passing. Both top 3 in the NFL. Not a coincidence.
Nope.
Good move.
Yep. Him and Hayden are very solid. I would pick on Artie Burns all day if I could.
I
think he's terrible at corner. He's the weak link back there, so yeah.
How about this for a little history? The last time the Bills beat the Steelers, Week 3, 1999.
Wow.
The quarterbacks, Doug Flutie.
Okay, hold on. Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart.
Yeah. Wow.
Was that the year of the Music City Miracle?
Yes, it was.
Which is still a forward pass.
Oh,
Read Adam Schefter.
I don't care.
Listen to me.
No.
Why not?
Just talk.
Read Adam. No. Sometimes you need to hear this, buddy. Listen. Adam Schefter was right on the field looking straight at the play.
Awesome.
And read what he said.
He's only 5'7". I don't know.
I don't care. He has credibility. Why would he lie?
I love him.
Is he a Buffalo fan?
Moment.
Go. Who refereed that game? Phil bleeping Luckett. Oh, let me see. Vinny Testaverde's head's in the end zone. That must mean it's a touchdown.
That was a bad call.
That was a bad call, but just one in the many of Phil Luckett. Forward pass.
Sorry, man. Anybody who saw that knows it was a lateral.
Music City Miracle, my ass.
I've got great. I'm gonna have to share a story,
buddy. I'll share. I'll tell you. You share that with me if you let me share the Adam Schefter story with you.
Okay.
See, of course, buddy has an affinity for the Tennessee Titans, Music City Miracle.
Because of friendship, yes.
I don't care. Tennessee.
I'm loyal to my friends.
I love getting under your skin.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can tell the story. Sally Reese, I love you, like a great friend. Sally Reese was Floyd Reese's wife. I met her on a plane 8 years ago.
Right.
We've been friends ever since. We went over their house.
Are you gonna make me feel bad?
Last year, and we were talking about that play. And she said her and Floyd were actually on the escalator to go up to the press room and totally did not see the play.
Really, at all?
They didn't see the play until they got up there. They heard the cheering. They were trying to figure out what was going on.
Right.
And they only found out when they got up there. So the GM of the Titans didn't even see the play. Floyd, I love you too. I had to tell the story.
What's great about that was a Doug Flutie game. He was benched in favor of Rob Johnson for that game.
He was benched week 17.
Week 17, right.
And they kicked ass week 17.
Right.
So they kept him in.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
That was Was that Flutie's last game in Buffalo?
I believe it was.
Because he went to the Chargers after that.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about that. But that was interesting. I was always been a big Flutie guy, and I like you have an affinity for Tennessee. I have an affinity for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I go up there too. That's my other road trip favorite.
You don't have to defend yourself.
All right, we got baseball for like 7 minutes, I think. Here.
Do we have? You want to talk a little baseball? See how we can get along. Can we just get along? All right.
Why are the Astros trying to trade Carlos Correa?
That's a good point.
That makes makes less than no sense to me.
I don't know his contract status. Are they
$7.4 million?
I love
It's Carlos Correa's theme song.
And
It's Friday the 13th. He did that to us. He's like, do not trade me to the Mets.
That was good.
I'm not going to the Mets.
Okay, but if you're them, do you? Well, no, you don't want to trade him, obviously. But you don't want to start retooling? I don't know if it has anything to do with the allegations of sign stealing.
Are they going to get like major fine? Because they said they've interviewed over 60 people into this.
Yeah. So it may have something to do with that, or maybe they just need to retool. I don't see how they would. Why would you want to trade Carlos Correa? But
DD to the Phillies is officially signed.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is the one we talked about coming in. It was breaking at the time. Madison Bumgarner. Of all places, you're a Giants fan. Where wouldn't you want him to go?
To the LA Dodgers?
Yeah, it's near done.
How about that?
Is that crazy? And the money that team puts out every year to disappoint their fans is just amazing.
Well, not surprising. Yeah, I agree. Not surprising with Didi Gregorius going to Phillies with Joe Girardi.
Labor is going to go over to Short. That'll loosen things up. They'll be able to keep all their pieces in the infield.
Phillies are a good team. They're a good team. They just weren't able to. I mean, they seem to every year under Gabe Kapler, they'd be right in the thick of things. And
I love Gabe Kapler.
Me too. I do too. Dude, he was one of the best interviews we've ever had on the station. Great dude. I still have his cell phone number.
Do you?
Yeah.
We should call him.
I should give him a call.
Just right now.
I can't call him now.
Gabe,
but
what do you think of DD?
Now, he's managing somewhere.
You know whose number I still have in my phone from the score? This is awful.
Please don't hold this against us.
I accidentally call it all the time because it's listed on my favorites, and I'm not tech savvy enough to take it out of my favorites, so I've called a few times.
Bobby Orr.
Yes.
Bobby Orr.
And he's friendly every time. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number. He's like, oh, that's okay. Hope you have a great day.
Did he really?
Dude, yeah, he's still in my phone.
I spent so many countless hours trying to get him on the station.
Oh, yeah.
Never came on. Anyway.
He's so friendly on the phone.
He's great on the phone.
Every bit as friendly as the persona is.
But you know what? Maybe actually, Kapler's a manager. Who did he just get named? He's with somebody. Who's? We need to find out in a few minutes. Gabe Kapler.
I'll look it up while you talk.
Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, the Red Sox have signed Martin Perez, who's a left-handed pitcher, last with Minnesota. 10-7 last year with a 5.12 ERA, 29 starts. Pitched at Texas in 2018. What?
The Giants.
Thank you very much. Kapler's on the Giants. Anyway.
Wikipedia, you failed me.
Don't trust anything Wikipedia. So,
buddy. I'm reading your profile. Shut up.
Does the signing of Martin Perez, left-handed pitcher, kind of pave the way for David Price?
Oh, I think the Price thing happens within the next 48 hours.
I do too.
I think they came out of. I think there's a series of moves they're going to make, smaller moves. I think they're going to go. Kind of think 2013, where they grabbed a whole bunch of veterans or prospects who didn't quite pan out, and try to fill a roster with them and get through this year being competitive.
No, we talked about this.
I like the other signing from the Reds.
Oh, the infielder.
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. Unfortunately, the Brock star may be going in.
Yeah, but I like
Jose Peraza, 1 year 3.
Can he play second base is what I want to know.
Yeah, I do believe he can. He's an infield. I think he's a utility guy. 288 average last year, 14 homers, 15 RBIs, 23 stolen bags. So I like that too in 157 games. So he's longevity. Get out there. Every team needs a utility guy.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I like him.
Guys need days off.
Yeah, I do. So I like that. I like that signing too. But we talked about it beforehand. With the direction of this Red Sox team, you can't gut this team. There's no. I mean, bridge year you may be able to get away with, but you can't do what what they did in Tampa.
No.
Right. You can't. You got to be competitive and build a team at the same time, which is Theo Epstein's biggest asset, in my opinion, with this team. Build the minor leagues. Stay competitive. By competitive, be competitive for a playoff spot. We're not sure if this guy can get it done yet.
Yeah, no.
That's
very intrigued by him because, like I said, he basically worked at a company that didn't have a lot of overhead, and now he has a lot of overhead. Let's see if he stays the same person and is able to find these gems and make things work and make deals. And yeah, I think prices. How about this? I'll set Sunday at midnight. I'll set my deadline.
If they get rid of him and not have to give up anything on the current roster, I'd be surprised.
I'll take
and
pennies
happy
on
at the same time.
I'll take pennies on
No,
the
so
dollar.
will I. They're gonna have
a
to,
salary dump.
right, exactly. But they're probably gonna have to eat some of it. If they have to, they will.
Yeah, but that doesn't count towards the luxury tax.
No.
So they don't mind doing that.
No, although
you write out a $30 million check and let you pay the other $60.
Although we talked about it, this is an attitude thing as well with him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if it wasn't for that attitude, I'd be willing to get rid of Chris Sale because of the longevity. I agree with you.
I can't.
But Chris Sale's, that's not a good contract right now.
Oh, no, it's a terrible contract.
Right, and it's longer than this. I agree with you. I can't.
It's my man crush.
I agree with that. I love Chris Sale too, but is he going to be able to rejuvenate himself, change his pitching, change the way he pitches? Because he just likes to get up there and fire it in. I'm not sure he can be a different pitcher. He's going to have to be to see any sort of time in the fourth or fifth year of the contract he has signed with this team.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's going to do it. That's going to do it. December 13th in the books here for the E2G Sports Podcast. I want to thank Tyler O'Neill, Mike Heron for having us here. Thank you, everybody there. Thank you, Buddy Andrade. Thank you, everybody who tuned into Facebook, saw us on YouTube. We will be back with more of the E2G Sports Podcast next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, God willing. Everybody, take care. Be safe. Be well. Have a great sports weekend, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Over and out.
Another summer has passed, and once again, your dream of having a pool in your backyard has come and gone. Right now is the time to make sure it doesn't happen again. Call Apollo Pools and Spas now and lock your date in for the pool you have always wanted, for you, your family, and friends to enjoy. Don't wait another minute. Call Matt Collins at Apollo Pools and Spas at 508-923-7381. 508-923-7381. Apollo Pools and Spas is located on Route 44, Lakeville, Mass. In today's day and age, security isn't a luxury, it's a must. That's why it's time you call Total Security Technology. Whether you're protecting your house from a break-in or package poachers, or protecting your business from vandals or thieves, Total Security Technology will help prevent the crime from happening or catch the criminal in the act with their state-of-the-art security system. Call the area's foremost security expert, Scott Bazinet, at Total Security Technology for a consult. Call Scott at 401-297-7982. That's 401-297-7982. Quality counts at Highland Fence. Highland Fence has been keeping neighbors friendly and protecting your businesses for 31 years. That's 31 years of serving Southeastern Mass and Rhode Island. Whether it's residential or commercial, Highland Fence's reputation is second to none. Remember, quality counts at Highland Fence. Call Highland Fence at 508-678-4650. 508-678-4650.